Sengoku Otome.
And right away, that's the best thing about this game, in my opinion. Nope, not this opening itself, but this transition. Look how seamless this transition from the opening to the main title is. As for the rest of the game, Sengoku Otome is a series of patching slots machines that was adapted to an anime in 2011. And then, Reiwa, Shirogumi Inc. and Planet G decided to make this game, Sengoku Otome Legend Battle, for the PlayStation Vita. Good night, sweet prince. And I've never heard of any of those companies before. What a good sign. In case you didn't know, Genderbender is really popular. And that's what this franchise is all about. Let's take all the important figures in Japan history and change them into women. Well, young little girls to be more precise. Because Japan. But this is really progressive, isn't it? After all, it's to empower women, right? Sure. Just take a look at how powerful Nobunaga-chan looks with her bikini armor. And now, look how big her boobs are. That's right. Every single character has to show a lot of skin by wearing very unpractical and sexy clothes. Because that's very feminist and not sexist at all. By the way, the anime version had a completely new isekai plot. But this game has nothing to do with it, which means that all those characters are supposed to be the real people from Japan's history, even though their personalities, designs, backstories and everything else have nothing to do with the actual historic figures. And what's more, the events in the game are not even slightly based on the actual history. In other words, they are historic figures in name only. So, what's the point? I mean, this doesn't even need to be Oda Nobunaga. This might as well be a completely unrelated character named Olga O'Hare. And this would make no difference in the end. But why would you even bother with real history? Why waste your time studying about all the bloody battles fought by Nobunaga and his loyal retainers, Hideyoshi and Akechi? That's too boring! Let's just watch those two cute little girls fighting over candy instead.
あの大福、楽しみに取っておいたんだからね。硬くなっちまう前にオイラが処理してやったのさ。ありがたく思いな。もう。
And coincidentally, they are also called Hideyoshi and Akechi. Go figure! And how about Yoshimoto and Ieyasu playing peekaboo? So kawaii!
家康さん、捕まえたですわ。お姉様、くすぐったいです。
And better yet, here is Otomo Sorin playing a soccer game with a robot girl. Historical! Okay, to be honest, I hate Genderbender. Especially with historical characters. But, even putting my biased opinion aside, I still think that this game is horrible. Unlike the Pachin slots, this is an actual game, a first in the series. And since they had no point of reference for the gameplay, they just made a Seiran Kagura clone, and a bad one at that. The square button is used for melee attacks, while triangle shoots projectiles. The main issue is that the melee attacks are pointless. They are too slow and easy to punish. And your character's running speed is really slow. which makes really easy to keep your distance and spam a bunch of projectiles in every fight. And that's exactly what the CPU does every time. As a result, this game gets repetitive real fast. The story mode sucks too. And that's not because the story is bad. I mean, it is. But that's already to be expected. No, there are many other reasons for that. And one of the main issues is that there are too many battles where the enemy is just too strong and your life bar is too low. But that's okay. Because you are supposed to lose. Yeah, this happens in games sometimes. But in this game, this kind of thing happens all the time. Even when it's the final boss. Nobunaga's campaign, for example, has only a total of 3 battles where you are actually supposed to win. So, it feels pretty pointless to play this story mode at all. The graphics are pretty bad too. Most characters' animations look okay, especially on cutscenes. But the 3D models look really cheap as they are rendered on a very low resolution. Even lower than most PlayStation Vita games. The stages have no life to them either. There isn't a single NPC around. There are no details on buildings and houses, and special effects like lighting, shadow, dust, and others are very rare and poorly made. Overall, those visuals look even worse than some PSP games. The music sounds cool at first, but unfortunately, the tracks are really short and they start to loop in less than 1 minute. At least, the voice cast is filled with talented and famous voice actresses. Unfortunately, their performances were kinda mediocre at best. It just doesn't sound like they were giving their all with those characters. Except for Koshimizu Ami. Despite everything, she was still able to take her role very seriously. Probably because her character clothes are the least shameless ones. It's still a bikini armor though. I would never recommend this game to anyone. But this is clearly not my fetish. If this game is your thing, you don't even need to be concerned with the language barrier, because the gameplay and menus are really simple. And it's not like the story is very complex or difficult to understand. And that's it for this review. But if you have any other questions about Sengoku Otome, Legend Battle, or if you have suggestions for future reviews, just leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Bye.